Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome to my very first time playing Gran Turismo 7. I am very excited to dive into this game and begin the campaign, or career mode, or playthrough, however you want to say it. But however you want to call it, it is a Gran Turismo single-player experience, which I'm looking forward to diving into. There's a sense of nostalgia. I didn't really play GT Sport at all. As I said in my review video yesterday, I played a lot of the previous ones, especially GT4 and GT5 back in the day on the PS2 and PS3. So, yeah, it's been a long while since I've really sunk my teeth into a single-player experience of Gran Turismo. So looking forward to it. And I, did a bunch of recording for my review video that I uploaded yesterday. So that's going to set us up for at least 3 episodes you'll be getting in the next, well, till the end of the week, basically, over the weekend as well. So if you are new around here, do get subscribed for that, and I will be streaming a fair amount of this game also over on my Twitch channel, aarava TV. So go check out my Twitch channel as well, and I'll actually be streaming later this evening on Thursday evening, so check that out as well if you want to see me live with this game. But anyway, here we are in the new world of GT7. We've got this new main menu style where it's like this little cool world map, very nice illustrations and vistas, I must say. And the first port of call is getting a used car. So a lot of the menu like options, they're all locked, and you have to go through and unlock them, which I kind of like in a way, because it means you kind of have to be immersed a bit in what the game's all about before you dive into, let's say, multiplayer, or buying your own kind of new cars and whatever. It's very GT as well. From if you remember the older games, the numbered ones, it always started off like that. They made you get a used car, and it's that kind of working your way up through kind of like a nice progression system. And so for the very first car out of 3 we could select, we've gone for the Honda Fit Hybrid from 2014. I'm not going to lie to you, just chose it because of the name. I mean, it's the Honda Fit. It's a fit car. Hopefully, we're going to look fit whilst we cross the line in first place. Hey. So, yeah, that's our first car then that we've got for 13,000 credits. And now we've opened up the cafe. Now, you're going to be seeing a lot of the cafe in this series, in everyone's series of the campaign and the single-player experience, because this is a, well, as it says, a special place where people who love cars and even car designers go and come to, and there's special menus for people like you exploring this world. So it's a really funny in like a nice way of presenting it. Like, we're at this cafe and there's these quote-unquote menus that this guy Luke is going to present to us, and it's all about car culture, collecting cars, different menus for different genres of cars and eras and whatnot. So he's the cafe owner. We not only serve food and drinks here, but also provide special menu books for exploring this world. The menu book contains hints and objectives for enjoying car culture and racing, and once you complete one menu book, I'll have another menu book ready for you. So that's the progression system we get. Let's start out by choosing the first one, and you'll see the whole way they present it and the art style, how they've done the UI here, is so just like painfully GT in like a really good way, really cutesy, and just really, yeah, it's a nice presentation. So here we go, lovely little, menu book on the left. We've got this stamp of Gran Turismo Cafe, and this is our first one then, Japanese compact cars. Of course, it was always going to be something like that to start things off. So we've already got the Honda Fit. So actually, the other 2 cars that we had a choice of, we are going to try and earn them by doing the essential career mode races or campaign races. So we'll be driving in the Honda Fit, but we're going to be trying to unlock the other ones. And you're going to see the orange compass icon a lot through this entire thing, because that's where it's going to direct us to for the next part of the campaign, essentially. So on the top left, you can see it, and you'll see the icon across the screen a lot of the times. You can see there right now that USA Northern Isle Speedway race has got the orange compass, so that's going to direct us to where the next part of the campaign career mode is. So we've got this first Sunday Cup then, just a speedway, an oval circuit to start things off, and we're going to try and place 3rd or higher in order to unlock this next car, and we need to try and unlock both cars to progress to the next menu, to the next part of the campaign. Essentially, they're like almost career mode races, career mode missions. So we're getting stuck in then our first outing in our fit car around the outside, going high up into P6 and then using the banking to push out across the next straight up into P5. We've got 5 laps to do this, but what you'll notice is with a lot of these chase races where you start on a rolling start and you're at the very back, there is quite a distance for the top cars. You can see the top 3 go 3 abreast through that banking. That's absolutely insane. For the very first race to see the AI be doing that is pretty sick and pretty promising as well, as we're now sending fastest laps. We're coming in, obviously they're losing time to each other, fighting, and so we're closing up, but it's taken us 2 laps to do it. As I was saying, you know, with these rolling starts, you'll notice the top guys are already so far ahead, so it's a case of trying to catch them up once you get into clean air and having to lift off a little bit as the AI block us in a little with a boxing on the inside there. So it's not easy going by any means. You know, the first few overtakes are sometimes maybe easy with these chase races, but then the couple ahead, you know, the AI will try and defend and try and make life difficult for you. And in terms of the AI difficulty, I felt, as I've said in my review, it was quite, you know, well balanced to the point where I'm only catching P1 here on the very last lap. There's only 1 banking to go. We've set another purple, trying to set up it on the Toyota Igo, round the outside, then switching to the inside there, and just getting through before the checkered flag, and just getting first place in this race. Of course, we only need to get 3rd or higher to collect the car, but of course, we're going to be trying to aim for first place in as many races as we can, as was always the case. I don't know about you guys, when I used to play GT4 and 5, you know, especially, I didn't play as much GT6, which is why I keep saying it like that, but when I used to play those games, I always had to try and aim for P1, and if I didn't get P1, I'd retry it if I thought I could definitely get it. So we go again now for a second race. Now this is to unlock the 3rd car in this Japanese compact car menu. So here's a bit different. We've got a few corners to actually navigate here. It's not just a full oval, but it is a pretty similar sort of bank turn sort of circuit. So we're up into P4, then just letting off a little bit there, trying to judge the corner, because I do know I am in a compact car, so it's not the same as F1. I have to almost relearn my visual references for where, because I think I can brake and turn in at a certain point on any circuit because of my kind of muscle memory and my actual memory visually of how an F1 car turns. So I always have to try and relearn how to drive and relearn, you know, how to judge distances and whatnot in these kind of, you know, lower tier cars. Of course, as we get on through the campaign and we unlock the higher end cars, maybe that will come a bit more naturally to me. But in this second race, we couldn't quite get first place there. 1.8. The guy was actually miles ahead, really, when I started that last lap there. So we're going to have to settle for second. But we get the car, we get the Aqua. I didn't actually know that this was an EV. It was an electric car, actually. And I'll find that out later, because I actually swap cars and use that later on. But we have done our first menu then, and Luca is very happy. This completes the collection, and let's talk later. So he always now like teaches you about the cars you've unlocked. So like I said in my review, it is really about trying to immerse you and teach you about car culture, which I found quite interesting, you know, because I really don't know a lot about road cars. You know, I know a lot about Formula 1, but I probably sound like a very dumb person and newbie, really, when it comes to these kind of games, because I really don't know a lot about normal cars, road cars at all. It's more just motorsport for me, so it's a nice learning experience. And we open up and unlock the license center now with this second menu. So the license center, the infamous license center, where, you know, those gold challenge times are so bloody difficult, and we've unlocked it now, and that's our next task, is to do one of the national B license challenges, I think, at the start. And it starts off pretty normal and pretty calm, I remember, and then you get to like the later ones, and it's the most pain in the arse thing. But here we are then in the license center, and we're welcomed by Solis, who I then realized that there are actually a lot of the in-game, well, quote-unquote characters that you see by picture and face and name, like in the AI, and also the guys taking you through the menus. A lot of them are actually Gran Turismo esports drivers, which I found really cool. That's so dope. scope, and that's a really nice little touch to give back to the Gran Turismo esports drivers, because I know that's a massive part of the game, and it was in GT Sports. So that was very cool. So we're doing our very first license center test then for the very first National B license, and that's just a very easy stop and start. We get it done, gold straight away, get in there, and we're good to go then with that first menu, and we unlock some familiar names. I was very excited actually when I saw Goodwood pop up there, because I'll be going to that hopefully later in the year with Quadrant for the Goodwood Festival of Speed. So to open up Goodwood and also Brands Hatch, familiar tracks to myself, so that's a good thing, because obviously also that's another thing, there's so many other tracks here that I have never driven, some fantasy, some real ones, and it's always cool to actually have tracks that I know of, that I definitely know that I can drive a little bit better at than maybe others per se. But now we're moving into the next menu item. So we've gone past license, the license center one, that little kind of opening introduction, and now we move on. It is European Classic Compacts time. We've got another 2-lap race of the Sunday Cup Classic, and we're trying to unlock a Fiat 500. So get the Tango Ice Blast out, get the Chinese after you've had a night out and you're hungover. Once we get this car down into turn 1, late on the brakes there, I was actually quite surprised how responsive the car was actually to that corner. Then we cut the corner a little bit there. I was a bit over-optimistic of how that was going to go, but we made it work somehow. And then, well, I noticed up the road we've got a whole ass caravan in this race then, and a black cab, I think, I don't know, or a Beetle. We go around the outside, it's a Volkswagen Beetle, not a black cab. Looked like a black cab from the rear end, to be fair, to me. But then we go past this caravan, and it's a really nice corner, actually, to be fair. Really nail the apex on that one to get the overtake done up into P2. That's also the other funny thing about GT. Sometimes they just chuck random cars in with you, and it's quite comical. But now we've got a classic Mini Cooper defending and making us go the long way around, and I go way too deep into that corner, still getting used to everything. Now, remember, I must stress, if you haven't already realized already, and if you didn't watch my review video, I am playing this right now at the moment exclusively on a PS5 controller. I don't have a wheel yet set up for the PS5, so I'm on controller. There are a couple of assists on, but hopefully once I get a wheel sorted in the next week or two, I'm hoping, then I can, you know, take those off and kind of get stuck in a bit more properly with a wheel, because I keep hearing so many people say that is a really, really, really good game on the wheel. It is, though, a great game on the controller. Like, they've made it to be a great game on the controller. Like, the majority of players probably will still play it with a controller, I feel. I mean, I might be a little bit different in terms of demographic to how many people would go out and buy a wheel, I guess, with Gran Turismo, but Gran Turismo is such a global game that I feel there's so many drivers out there that will just, you know, not have the spending power to get a wheel, so they make it great on a controller for that reason, and it is really good with the haptics, like I said in the review video. But now we're here at Goodwood, and we're splicing through these cars. We're in the Toyota Aqua, so this is the EV car. I didn't know it was EV though, and then I saw, oh, I can't change up gears, because I was pressing the X button so many times to change up, and I was like, oh, it's just one gear, it's just drive. And then it's very weird, because when you brake then, there's no gearing down, you just kind of let the car roll through, and that's how you're kind of getting through the corners. But we get through the last chicane then, and we power past everyone, because this Aqua was actually so bloody quick in a straight line there. The EV motor was just like insane, like so much acceleration, like instantly. I guess that's what you get with EV motors, and that was a pretty easy one at Goodwood, the Goodwood circuit. Now we're at Brands Hatch, the Indy circuit, and we're back in the Fit Hybrid. Now I'm looking forward to this. Brands Hatch is always a really fun track to drive, no matter what car you're in, but this one was going to be a bit shaky. I wasn't too sure how this first corner was going to go. We get kind of blocked off a little bit by the Mini Cooper there. A little bit annoying, but we're going to go down the inside now, so the AI defending a little bit more actually here at Brands Hatch for some reason than maybe was the case at Goodwood. Down the inside again, I was a bit cautious on how much to be braking there, because I have no idea about Brands Hatch in a Fit Hybrid. But we're going to try now, swoop around the outside, use the curb, and then nail the apex. This was so satisfying to get through third gear, use all the curb, and then launch ourselves through up into P5. So this was maybe about, I would say, an hour into me playing the game, I would say, and I was getting now used to everything, getting the feel for it, And it was just really satisfying, actually, when you nail the corners. And when you don't, you kind of want to improve like that. You know, just going a bit understeer. Could have maybe get the nose in a little bit earlier with the car. But now we belt on to the second lap. We're in P3, so we've already done enough to unlock the car we need to. But we want to go for first place, of course. We're going to have the legs on the second place man. And we're going to look to maybe now get the Volkswagen into turn 1. But we are a little bit too optimistic there in 5th gear. And we get it all wrong, and there's no redos here in Gran Turismo. We just go off and we have to go again, and so we're back down to P3. I just for whatever reason I thought, oh, I can make it in 5th gear. Definitely could not make it in 5th gear, so we have to go again. But we gain the time in that second little sector here as we go to the final corner. Our car is quicker in a straight line than these two ahead. So as long as we get a good run, we get a good launch down to 3rd gear just to get a bit more power, then back up to 4th, and then the run to the line. We've got the Abarth going for a move. It's 3 wide. We're on the grass, half on the grass, and we go across the line to get 1st place. Again, a really exciting ending right at the end, having to go 3 wide to get the move and get 1st place. But we have unlocked all the European compact classics, the Fiat 500, the Mini Cooper, and the Volkswagen Beetle. Absolute legends of the game. Now we move on to the next menu, which is the high-speed ring. And this is now our first outing in a bit of a kind of small championship-style mission race in this campaign with 2 different circuits, and one of them being Suzuka, the Japanese Grand Prix, a familiar circuit. But you know it's getting a bit more serious as we get this lovely little intro video to this championship. And as per usual with a lot of this game, it looks unbelievably pretty. I mean, it looks gorgeous. Look at it. Look at it. So it's time for our very first championship then, the high-speed ring track day. And we've got some really fancy new graphics then to try and pump up the intensity. And we're not going to drive, I don't think, Suzuka right yet. You can see the 2 tracks we've got are the same ones, but we have unlocked Suzuka. So we will be driving at the Japanese Grand Prix very soon. Probably in the next episode, I would say, as we're going to probably round out the episode with this championship as we start in P8 then and barreling through the banked curve up into P6. We're still in our Honda Fit. We've not changed that car yet. Didn't feel like necessary to change quite this second because I was actually really enjoying the Fit. You know, I knew how it was handling, I knew how I was responding, but I think we'll later on move on to some of the European cars, maybe potentially. But going a little bit too hot into that corner, managing to finesse it and style it out a little bit in 4th gear and closing up to P4. Now, like I said earlier, some of the GT esports drivers, they're all in this game, so you can see by the icons, these AIs that by name, they're actual GT esports drivers that they've been put into the game. So very, very nice touch by the studio. Up into P2 now and getting used to the lap a little bit and rolling the car a lot in 4th gear, and hearing the tyres squeal through the tunnel again just looks insane. Like I think the race later on in the career, what I've recorded so far, where there's this epic moment where it goes from wet into this tunnel, I think, and then goes out again. It just showcases how pretty the game looks, and it never skips a beat. It's all so smooth in 60 FPS, whereas the F1 game, even now with my PC, a beefy PC, sometimes has frame rate issues now and again. Yeah, it's just a really good feat of engineering by the team to make sure it just is so buttery smooth. As we're now up into P2, bit of understeer, as I probably should have gone down to 4th gear, try and get the nose in, and then kind of short shifting a bit mistakenly down to 3rd, but just trying to get a bit more power out the car to kind of launch us now towards P1. Don't think we'll have the legs on him to get him just out the tunnel through the subtle right, but then we do have the banking on the left where we can do some good work. We've gone purple there, so we're improving on this second lap, and hopefully if I don't get it too hot into this and get it just right as we start now to brake here and just keep tightening the curb. Then we push wide on purpose to get a bit of a higher run, and that's going to send us off, catapult us towards the overtake onto the final stretch. So again on the last lap, just getting it done on the last bend and last corner, the run to the line, and we'll get the first place, and we'll complete the first part of this championship. The second one coming straight up, and this one was some rain. So I was very interested to see how this was, one, going to look and also feel as well. Of course, I remember on a controller, I've got some assists on, so it wasn't as challenging as it would be on a wheel, as exciting maybe, potentially, but I feel like on a controller, at least me personally, I've got very happy trigger fingers on a controller, so I would have been spinning up everywhere. I mean, not to say I don't have a happy trigger finger when it comes to my right foot either on the wheel, but you know what I mean. But we're going to chuck it in, and this was kind of blind, didn't really know where to go apart from the kind of brake lights of the car ahead, but we actually just smooth it out around the outside. Nicely done. And then the VW Golf is easy mincemeat for us, but then a bit tight on the left-hander. I wasn't ready for that curb on the left. And this is the part, actually, this is the part I was talking about, where we go from wet and you've got all the rain spray. We come in, lovely look into the tunnel. It's like a bit darker now, so it looks even better. And then out again in the rain, but I got it so wrong. I forgot the right-hander. I got it so wrong, so we clout the barrier. Massive thud, down to third place, to third gear. Embarrassment as we're down to fourth. We then hit the man in P3, so we're getting all flustered here, so not my finest hour. We recompose, we re-overtake him, and we're back up into P3 across the bridge. But, yeah, I just completely forgot. I was actually, what was happening was, whilst I was recording and racing, I was actually genuinely real-time being like, oh my god, this tunnel looks so amazing. And then I just forgot the right-hander was coming up. But we're chasing after P2 then, finding the line on the inside. Will the Swift squeeze us? He does a little bit, but not too much. And we've got a good run now as we go towards lap 2. So not even one lap done yet. So now on to lap 2. And we'll try and now chase down P1, who's 2.2 seconds ahead of us. So that's quite a bit of time to find, but we are going to hopefully do it by the end of the race. We can just about see him up the road with the heads-up display icon, rather than really seeing his car without spray there. But now through to the tunnel again. Now this time I was adamant I wasn't going to get this wrong again. I used the car ahead of me to kind of suss out when I'm meant to be braking. Still a bit wide, to be honest, but we'll kind of accept it because it does allow us to have the inside line, drag it through in fourth gear, move the camera just to see where he is. But we're going to make the move into P1 as we go into the halfway point of the lap. And then as we cross the line, the sun is out, the track is drying, but it won't matter. We finished the race and we have got 2 wins in the championship to round out the whole thing and win it, of course. So we win our very first trophy in the GT7 campaign there, the high-speed ring track day trophy for this championship, and we're nearly at 100,000 credits then of in-game currency. Not too bad, not too bad, but that is going to be it then for this very first episode of this GT7 campaign career playthrough. We've unlocked Suzuka, so the Japanese Grand Prix will be on the agenda next time out. But guys, if you have enjoyed this very first outing on GT7 for myself, then be sure to hit the like button. Let me know, do you want to see more of this? I know I say this a lot about other racing games, but genuinely GT7 seems like a game that is worth trying to put in the time. And if you guys want to see more content from it, I will be trying my best, especially over on Twitch, for sure. Even if maybe YouTube videos slow down after this initial first week of hype for myself on the channel, I will be streaming this game a lot. So definitely go check out my Twitch channel if you want to see more of me live this evening, like I said, over on Twitch. But let me know. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for more. And we'll catch you guys around. Goodbye.